Hey friend, aren't you tired of hearing bad news? Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to The Good Part Is, where I'll share all things good pertaining to culture, health, and fashion. Stay tuned. Hey, welcome back to The Good Part Is with Out of My Shell, the voice. That be me. Happy Women's History Month. So, in light of Women's History Month, today we're going to highlight some phenomenal women doing extraordinary things in culture, health, and fashion. These women are relentless, resilient, and responsible with their gifts and passions. So, let's get into it. First up, have you ever heard the saying, if you don't know your history, you're destined to repeat it? Well, I think this woman believes in that statement, and she really needs no introduction. But before we dive in, just a little segue. FYI, I applied for a job working with her, and I totally 100% blew it. Now, I have no regrets because I believe what God has for me is for me, and even I can't blow it. Okay, I digress. Anyway, back to the good part in culture is I wanna share what's good with the world. What's good with all the boys and girls? Julieanna Richardson is an incredible woman with an impressive and prestigious background in law and communications. In 1999, she founded the History Makers. What's the History Makers? I'm so glad you asked. The History Makers is a national 501c3 nonprofit research and educational institution committed to preserving and making widely accessible the untold personal stories of African Americans. Through the media and a series of user-friendly products, services, and events, the History Makers enlightens, entertains, and educates the public, helping to refashion a more inclusive record of American history. The History Makers was born out of Miss Richardson's dream to address the lack of documentation and preservation of the African American historical record by capturing one person at a time, the untold personal stories of both well-known and unsung African Americans, and by creating a priceless video collection giving those involved their special place in history. The testimonies captured in the History Makers collection, conducted in homes and offices across the United States and abroad, they reveal the broad scope of narratives of African American men and women who have made significant contributions to American life, history, and the culture during the 19th, 20th, and 21st centuries. Many of these contributions have largely been untold and unrecorded, and as a result, they're still largely unknown. They are America's missing stories. Now, to date, there are approximately 2,800 interviews on this site. The mission here is to educate the world on the accomplishments of African Americans through video, oral history interviews. Now, prior to the start of the interviews in 2000, there was only one large-scale methodic attempt during the 20th century to capture African American history from a first-person perspective, and that was the WPA slave narratives. That's housed at the Library of Congress. Nearly a century of African American achievements and struggles had gone undocumented at the time of its founding. Now, isn't this amazing? Miss Richardson decided that no longer should we be unsung and unheard of. She needed to make the effort to go and interview every living person who's made a mark in African American history. And you can go watch these videos. How? You can visit the History Makers website at www.thehistorymakers.org. Also, go to the History Makers on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, and watch all of the videos. The good part here? The good part is Julieanna Richardson has not only made history, but she is also documenting African American history, which in fact is world history. Julieanna Richardson. As a child, I had a very traumatic childhood, and it was drenched with loads and loads of terrible memories, terrible experiences. But as I think back, one of my best, most pleasant memories and the highlights of my youth was jumping double dutch. Can you believe that? And man, could I jump. But from ages 6 to 14, I was a latchkey kid, and I couldn't really go outside after school. But on the weekends, honey, and the days that I could when my mother was off during the week, I definitely got my jump on. I loved double dutch. And to this day, 50 years old, yes, I am 50, and I still love jumping double dutch. But these 50-year-old knees and this extra weight make it a little more difficult. Don't get it twisted, though. I can still move in the ropes, okay? Anyway, I digressed again. But the good part in health today is I want to share what's good with the world. What's good with all the boys and girls. The good Pamela Pelt-Robinson. Pamela Pelt-Robinson is the CEO and founder of 40 Plus Double Dutch Club. In May of 2016, while going through some difficulties in her personal life, she went to a barbecue. And while she was chatting it up with a woman at the barbecue, they started reminiscing, going down memory lane, talking about how the children these days, they don't do any of the other things that we used to do when we were a kid, such as play outside, right? The topic of double dutch came up. Pamela remembered that she drives around with a double dutch rope in her trunk. So she brought the rope out of the trunk and brought it out, and the women started jumping for about 30 minutes. In that time, no matter what she was going through, Pamela actually forgot about the difficulties in her life. The next day, she went to her friend's house. She told her friend that they should get a group of women together. She was so excited. Women their age and other women who used to jump rope. And so then her friend was like, let's do it. So she went to Facebook and posted something there saying, hey, who's over 40 and would like to jump double dutch? And she received an amazing reaction. The first meetup was in Homewood Flossmoor High School. That's in Homewood in Illinois. Then they started meeting in a church parking lot every Saturday. After being featured on Windy City Live in May of 2019, the Facebook membership grew from about 50 women to over 1,000 women. Now, with over 12,000 women across the nation, most of the women are coming out and they generally know how to jump, but some women have never jumped double dutch and they're just interested. And so the group will teach them how, right? Pamela has been quoted as saying that you can work out with jumping double dutch without it feeling like this arduous feat or this arduous task. Also, one of the benefits of having this group of 40 plus women jumping double dutch is the fact that not only are you exercising, but it creates community in women. And not only is the jumping fun, but there are so many health and fitness benefits, and you get a dose of sisterhood and chats and laughter. There are various groups in various cities and various states, and if someone is interested in starting a group in their area, they would have to reach out to Pamela because she hosts a Zoom call and she reviews all the necessary information. Actually, in order to be a member, all they have to do is purchase a t-shirt. They can attend any event, anywhere, once they have their branded t-shirt. On this t-shirt, it tells their name and it also discloses how old they are on the back of the t-shirt because it's for 40 plus. The events begin with stretching first, and then there's open play, which consists of double dutch, hula hoops, hopscotch, Chinese rope, etc. And then there's a group photo, and they end each event in prayer. Every meetup all across the world. Now, the captains must agree to all of these contingencies. There is no pay for the captains. This is volunteer only. And across the world, everyone is doing the same thing at all the meetups. Jump rope sessions, they generally last for about 1 to 1.5 hours. But some women are having so much fun that they want to keep playing and go from double dutch to hopscotch to whatever else. The women get together generally from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. and sometimes they'll go eat, they'll do jump buys. There's no fees. All you have to do is purchase a t-shirt with your name and age on the back of the shirt. Some women have reported some amazing results because of this. Not only is their self-esteem being built, but they're losing weight, they're feeling healthier, they're increasing their endurance, and the group sings songs and jingles while jumping, so that's creating joy, right? Jump rope is one of the best forms of exercises, not only for your body, but also for your mind, because it brings that childlike joy. As I think about double dutch, I have to smile because I love jumping. It makes me forget everything I'm going through, like Pamela. Pamela believes that the purpose of this community is to create an atmosphere of fitness, fun, and fellowship. And she said that women over the age of 40 with memories of playing outside, they have so much fun in this group. So, how do you join? I know you want to know. You merely go to Facebook and it's 40 plus double dutch, 40 plus double dutch. You go to the Facebook group, you request to become a member to join, and you just answer 3 questions. Once the administrator looks at it, as long as you're over 40 and you've answered those 3 questions accurately, they'll give you access. And then, of course, to follow up and actually be an official member, as I stated earlier, you have to purchase a t-shirt. Pamela has been quoted as saying, "It's never too late and you're never too old. God can turn your pain into purpose if you trust him." Now, in the winter months, they're usually indoors in Chicago. They have expanded to various events, including retreats and women's meetups. So in order to join, yes, you can go to Facebook, but you can also go to their website at www.40+doubledutchclub.org. That's 40, the word plus, doubledutchclub.org. The good part is Pamela Pelt-Robinson took her difficulties, her pain, her trauma experience, and she created her purpose. Also created an avenue for women to get fit, to have some fun, and to fellowship. Thank you, Pamela Pelt-Robinson, for everything you're doing to increase good physical health with women over 40. We appreciate you. And last but certainly not least, the good part in fashion is I want to share what's good with the world. What's good with all the boys and girls? Charis Jones, owner of Sassy Jones Boutique. What is Sassy Jones Boutique? You haven't heard of Sassy Jones Boutique? I know you have. You probably have. You just didn't pay attention to it. Sassy Jones is a global fashion plus beauty brand that sells confidence. Yes, sells confidence. It inspires you to show up bolder than ever before. They have an actual store in Richmond, Virginia. So, who is Charis Jones? About 4 months after delivering twin boys, Charis Jones took the road at large to introduce Sassy Jones to the world with inventory in her trunk and a dream of helping women feel undeniably confident through style. Her van has trekked over 30,000 miles in 15 months, traveling to spread the news of Sassy Jones across America. Following her 13,000-mile trek in her van, she hit a wall after attending a trade show because she realized this wasn't sustainable. She was tired. She was broke down from sleepless nights of being a mother of 2 twins and traveling. And even today, she wonders how she got through those years, but her hunger propelled her. Something, though, had to give, and a steady day job appeared to be the most logical and sane decision. After all, she'd spent all of her household's money on getting this brand off the ground. Well, Charis decided to give the online business a whirl. She'd heard so much about it. She set up her trade show display in her kitchen after she put her twins down to bed nightly, and she live streamed on social media to show off her jewelry. She called it the Sparkle Party. I remember that Sparkle Party. Actually, I found Charis or Sassy Jones during the pandemic. I don't think I'd heard of her before that, and I was blown away. Back to my story here. And that was the beginning. That was the beginning of the throttle of this very special brand. Since then, Sassy Jones has scaled to 3 warehouses, employing over 40 full-time team members, and has amassed countless national recognition. From landing number 24 on the prestigious INC 5000 list to being named by Forbes as a top brand that thrived during the pandemic, Charis still holds her customer-centric values at the forefront of her spectacular growth. She teaches women to be fearlessly unapologetic with their style choices. She also offers the solution to live that audacious and colorful lifestyle, and she says that that's what keeps their clients feeling undeniably confident, one of her missions. Customer experience is the most important to Charis. Now she creates and sells makeup, jewelry, accessories, clothing, home decor, etc. Sassy Jones is more than a brand. It's Charis's mission and a multi-million-dollar empire. In November of 2022, can you believe one of her customers spent $100,000 shopping at Sassy Jones? Charis, being the amazing, wonderful, giving person that she is, well, she reached out to that customer and she interviewed her online. You can find that video on Charis's website. And they had a conversation. Charis asked this woman if she had 3 wishes, what would they be? The woman's name is Angela. Angela stated she would like to visit the store and meet Charis in person, and she didn't know what the 3rd thing would be. That was in November. December 13th, 2022, that customer, Angela, well, she was welcomed to a cheering crowd at Charis's flagship store in Virginia. A cheering crowd with hugs and flowers and a tour of the store and the warehouse, and they created this 5-star experience for Angela. They also created a design named after Miss Angela. And Angela actually took part in helping to create the design. Charis has made the customer experience one of light, love, laughter, and undeniable confidence to the customer. The good part here in fashion is Charis Jones and Sassy Jones, her brand. Sassy Jones provides positive impact on women's lives across the world, infusing confidence, security, beauty, and this audacious style in her jewelry, in her makeup, in her home decor, in her clothing. We honor you, Charis Sassy Jones. Thank you so much. You are the good part in fashion. If you'd like to follow and purchase some of Charis Jones' products, visit www.shopsassyjones.com. Again, that's www.shopsassyjones.com. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching The Good Part Is. Remember, if you want to see more good, you be more good. And if you have suggestions on upcoming videos, honorees that is, please leave their names in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel.